Good morning, survivors. It's Angie. Today at queenbeing.com. It's Saturday. Hey, happy Saturday. And so we're going to have a little coffee together. And we're going to talk about something kind of interesting called the hot potato pass. Now, this particular term, as far as I know, was developed by Dr. Craig Malkin, who, is it Malkin or Macklin? Anyway, I don't know. He's somebody who has been, I think it's Malkin, he's been on Oprah and has discussed quite a lot about narcissism. He's considered one of the experts in the field, and he's currently working at Harvard School of Psychology, I believe. So he's kind of credible, right? Okay, anyway, so he says that the hot potato pass is, as we all know, first of all, let me just point this out before I tell you what this is. Narcissists are typically incredibly insecure, and you know that when they begin to try to avoid different confrontations and anything that has to do with their feelings. Okay, so I was speaking with a client a little while ago, and she was mentioning that she was dealing with an avoidant narcissist at work. So I thought, well, let's talk about that a little bit, shall we? So let's do it. So the first thing I want to point out is that narcissists deal with insecurity a lot more than we realize. While they seem to be totally secure in themselves and totally like they know what they're talking about 50% of the time or more, they're faking it. Okay, we've talked before about the false self and how all that works. Well, the thing that a lot of people don't recognize is that the hot potato pass, let's talk about what that is really quick, okay? Since they don't have the ability to really be totally secure in themselves, narcissists, one of the ways that they tend to kind of push off those negative feelings that they have, especially when we're talking about insecurity, is kind of like a game of hot potato with feelings, according to Dr. Malkin. Okay, and so it's like, I don't want to feel like I don't know what I'm talking about or that I'm unsure of myself. So here, you take this feeling. I don't want it anymore. I've talked before about the emotional dumpster thing, okay, where the narcissist treats us as though we are his or her emotional dumpster. And so when they, say they go to work, they come home, everything was terrible, they come into the house and they're instantly just on you, picking at every little thing, pick. It makes you exhausted. It makes you freaking lose it. But if you know that if you've done nothing to deserve any of this, which you probably didn't anyway, but if they can't, if they're just coming home and out of the blue start screaming and acting crazy or treating you in whatever way they tend to treat you when things aren't what they expect, then you know that it's probably not about you at all. It's probably about whatever happened at work, right? So the hot potato pass, is a situation where the narcissist will question everything. They'll question your every move. They'll question your ability to think, feel, and discuss everything. It's very difficult. So we're going to talk about that a little more. So they'll say something like, I don't think this is right, or pick. And when they do that, what they're trying to do is to, like I said, get rid of their own feelings, to dump those onto you. So their own vulnerable feelings, as in they don't think they're good enough or whatever, their own vulnerable feelings tend to take them to that ugly place. You feel me? So they'll say and they'll do things to make you feel as though you are the incompetent one here, even though you've had nothing to do with their issues, okay? And that is exactly what the hot potato pass looks like, just like that. So, yeah, that's it. So, essentially, they start nitpicking. They start telling you all the things that are wrong with you. They pick on your own vulnerable feelings, and essentially they literally unload onto you. So the question now becomes, well, how do you block the potato pass? How do you stop the hot potato from being thrown in your own lap, right? Well, you're going to feel like, well, I'm inadequate, I'm shaky, I'm nervous, I don't feel good about myself, et cetera, right? But, and of course, then you assume that the best way to deal with it is to assume that that's actually how that person's feeling, the narcissist, because you're an empath, you already know how to kind of detect feelings. And so as the narcissist is putting their feelings onto you, telling you that you're inadequate, everything about you is wrong, et cetera, you can guess that, that's probably how they're feeling. So if you ask them, hey, what's got you feeling like this today? Or what, do you feel a little off? Or is there something, that you're not sure about, that I can help you with? Or, how can I make you feel better? Sometimes if you can identify the way you feel when they're attacking you and turn around and realize they're projecting and they're pushing their feelings onto you, then you can often get them to at least back off a little bit enough to talk about what they want to talk about for real. A lot of times they don't even want to admit that they have an issue. You know what I'm saying? So something to be aware of. And the other thing to think about is this. A lot of times when a narcissist does the emotional dumpster thing, they will put you in this position where when they're finished dumping onto you, suddenly they feel great. Suddenly they're like, okay, let's hang out now. Everything's great. Oh, blah, blah. But meanwhile, you're left spinning, going, what the hell just happened? Devastated sometimes. So what you have to recognize is if your narcissist comes home or if, you're working with a narcissist and they come and they just out of the blue dump a bunch of negative emotions onto you, that usually happens because they don't know how to deal with whatever emotion they're having. They don't want to feel it, so they dump it onto you, literally. So, you can either gray rock, where you just don't respond at all, or you can attempt to find out what's really wrong and help them fix it. Those are the options. So what do you think about that? Have you been through this before? Have you dealt with narcissistic abuse? Have you dealt with the hot potato pass, as they call it? Tell me your thoughts. So that's all I've got for you today. Have you dealt with the hot potato pass? How did it feel to you? Tell me all about it in the comments below. All right? I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope it's been good for you so far. Keep your chin up. Monday's coming, my friend. I know weekends are hard for people who are dealing with narcissists. Big hugs to you. Thanks so much for being there. Thanks for letting me be a part of your life and a part of your day. I'll see you soon.